Hi, and welcome to the Objects section of this course. Objects are the most important data type and building block for modern JavaScript. Objects are quite different from JavaScript's primitive data types like numbers, strings, and booleans, in the sense that while these primitive data types all store a single value, objects can store multiple. Objects in JavaScript can be compared to objects in real life. The concept of objects in JavaScript can be understood with real-life tangible objects. In JavaScript, an object is a standalone thing that represents something. Compare it with a cup, for example. A cup is an object with properties. A cup has a handle, a design, weight, a material it is made of. In the same way, JavaScript objects can have properties which define their characteristics. Just to make sure we're on the same page, I'm currently on the number 10 section of the course, Object in Details. In there, I created the basic index.html file and also an empty script file. We connected them and then ran the index.html with live server. Therefore, we can console log things in here. With that said, let's move to objects. So what are objects? Why do we need them? And how can we declare them? In simple words, object is an unordered collection of related data in form of key and value pairs. Let's create a simple object so that we can see everything in action. An object can be, for example, a person. So in here, we can say const person and then use curly braces to declare an object. And let's say that the first name of our person is, let's do Tom. Then the last name can be, for example, Tom Cruise, just like that. And finally, let's do age. Let's set it to 40, for example. In here, we can see that to create an object, we just need to open a set of curly braces and assign it to a variable. That's the form of an object. Then, inside, we have key and value pairs. For instance, first key in the person object is first name, corresponding with the value of Tom. Inside of there, we also have a last name and age. And all of these properties are somehow grouped together. Each of these keys is referred to as properties of the object. On the other hand, take a look at something like this. Const first name is going to be equal to Tom. Then we're going to create another variable, const last name, which is going to be equal to Cruise. And then finally, const age, which is going to be equal to 40. Compare the two approaches. Opposed to having something like this, where every value stands for itself, objects allow us to make certain pieces of data related. Also, we mentioned that objects are unordered. What does that mean? The order of properties in an object can change and will not always stay the same as we declared it. But that's fully okay. When we're working with objects, we are not worried about the order. We learned that for that, we use arrays. In our person object, you can see that our first name and last name are strings, and age is a number. Values in an object can be of absolutely any type. For example, let's say that our person has a car. And then that car can again be an object because there are a lot of properties we want to describe that car with. So let's say that our Tom Cruise drives a car that has a brand of Toyota, which is a string. And let's say that it is 2015 Toyota, for example, and that it has a color of red. That's it. That simply means that we can nest objects inside other objects. We can also add variables as values in an object, in a sense that a variable is just a box that holds a value. Because of that, we can do the following. Const first name is equal to, and then in there we can say Johnny, for example, this time. Now, in here, in an object, what we can do is we can simply say first name is equal to first name. In this case, we don't have Tom Cruise anymore. Now we have Johnny Cruise, because this variable of first name, which is specified in here, just holds the value of a string of Johnny, so it's basically the same thing. We can console log the object so that you can see that in action. if we console log it and save it, you can see first name is Johnny and we also have a car. One thing that we can notice is that the key and value have the same name. If that is the case, JavaScript allows us to write it like this. We can just remove the latter and simply have first name here, and it's immediately going to take the value of the first variable with the same name. If we save it, you can see it's Johnny again. In the next video, we're going to learn how we can access certain properties of an object.